Previously on History of Turrican.
We took a look at the NES and SNES Turrican games, finding the NES version difficult, the SNES Super Turrican good, and the SNES Super Turrican 2 not so good.
I'm Funky Monkey, and welcome to Universal Soldier. So, Universal Soldier. The question is, how does a middling action film franchise become such a loathed video game? And what does it have to do with Turrican? Well, watch on, dear viewer.
In 1992, TriStar Pictures released Universal Soldier, a movie starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. The basic plot revolves around Luke Devereaux, a cyborg soldier, and his attempts to reclaim his old life. The movie license was given to Accolade, makers of the Turrican conversions for Mega Drive, Game Boy, and PC Engine. They also had the license to make Turrican 2 for the console market.
Thus was born a very bad idea.
The Mega Drive version removes little from what was a masterpiece of gaming to begin with. What it adds are new levels, a new main sprite, and a reordering of World 1.
In its defense, when it tries to be Turrican 2, it does do a good job. If it had been a straight port, I'd have gladly sung its praises back in episode 3.
Sadly, this was not the case, and Universal Soldier suffers for it. If you squint and look from a certain angle, you can almost imagine you're really playing Turrican 2. Until you get to the added levels, that is.
Compared to the Turrican levels, the Universal Soldier level design is generic and boring.
Jumping left and right, long platforms with occasional holes, that is the very basics of platforming, entirely unbecoming for a Turrican game. The lo-fi charms of the Game Boy can only limit the damage. This is a pointless license that only harms the original game. Accolade developed a SNES version of Universal Soldier, but for some reason decided not to release it. Thankfully, Factor 5 released Super Turrican, an infinitely purer source of Turrican goodness, and all was well. The unfinished state of this game is obvious. This version feels rough, unpolished. Colours are weird, music loops desynchronize, even the front end is basic, amateurish. On top of this, they really don't seem to be pushing the hardware at all. The SNES is easily capable of a direct Turrican 2 port, but developers the Code Monkeys intentionally play it safe. Ultimately, though, it's unfair to throw criticism at an unfinished game. With a few tweaks and some better music, perhaps the SNES port would have been enough to salvage the reputation of Universal Soldier.
And on that happy note, we bring this series to a close. Thanks very much for watching, and may your God or your iPod bless you. Bye now.